Our first award, the Research Study Coordinator Manager Staff Recognition Award, goes to Brittany Ross from the School of Social Work.
One thing that's really great about Brittany is that she's committed to the mission of the lab, and that shows up in all of the work that she does. You know, there's no task too small. You know, she takes on every task with a smile, and she basically, that commitment drives her to engage in professional development that goes above and beyond her current role. I mean, it just shows up in everything that she does. And I think that is part of what's infectious about working with her in terms of the research staff and the students, is they see her commitment. And when they work with her on a day-to-day basis, that really feeds into their commitment to the mission as well. She has a very wide skill set. And because of that, she's able to do a lot of, and serve in a lot of different roles. You know, she brings a smile and just generally her best self to the job every day. And it's pretty infectious across our team. She does a great job making everybody comfortable with what their workflow is, and helping fine-tune the morale within the lab, just in terms of, you know, during the busy times, checking in with folks to make sure that they're able to get their work done, and if not, she helps pick up the pace herself. Like, she'll take on extra duties and go above and beyond her typical role in order to make sure that the lab staff and students are able to kind of maintain that positive work culture. Her kind of tenacity with getting things done and making sure that our work is always moving forward. I would thank her for all the effort she puts into helping working with our community partners. We work with over 60 schools, and being able to take the time to connect with each of the schools in terms of teachers or administrators is really something that stands out around how she is committed to the mission of our lab to help support training for underserved and marginalized communities.
Our next award, the Outstanding New Research Administration Recognition Award, goes to Maryclaire Ellis from the Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy.
Thank you for allowing us to help recognize Maryclaire for her outstanding service and contributions to both the Ford School of Public Policy and also the broader U of M research community. In particular, during the pandemic, Maryclaire went above and beyond to work with our faculty and research center staff to stay connected with them and to help them pivot their research, to help them continue their work during times when in-person work and events and travel were not possible during a very challenging time. As a result, our faculty and staff view Maryclaire as an invaluable collaborator, helping them to translate their ideas into funded projects and then to administer their awards to help them focus on what they do best. And finally, Maryclaire is also a very creative problem solver, always digging deeper to ask the how and the why to help develop workable solutions. And she does so with remarkable confidence and maturity for her years of service. I would like to extend my congratulations to Maryclaire on this special day.
Our next award, the Research Data Management and Analysis Staff Recognition Award, goes to Patrick Bowman from the Transportation Research Institute and the College of Engineering.
Patrick was hired many years ago into a new role, sort of a role that was crafted between me and the Michigan State Police, who are the sponsor. So they would come to us to ask for data analysis to help them make decisions about how they do programs for traffic safety. That's what they do, and it's meant to be data driven, but they don't actually have the skills. And so they're coming to us. So we hired him into a role that was completely unknown. We actually didn't know what it was going to look like. And so the first thing, of course, that he did was he took it and he formed it into this extremely important role. Half of his time was spent in the offices of the state of Michigan, learning what they do, how they do data-driven decision-making, and then supporting that work. The result of that is now, many years later, he's still, of course, he's still engaging in that role, but he understands our key sponsor better than I do. We can be very technical if we want to in academia, but you have to actually make it mean something to the people that you're working with. And so he guides them through analysis. He also teaches them, he actually teaches them to use the tools that we provide. He teaches them how to think about data. He's trying to sort of improve, their skills in thinking about their job. And so there's just this whole set of things that make our work so much more impactful in the real world, in the programs that, that everybody sees out on the highways in Michigan. Patrick, thank you so much for the way in which you understand the people that we work for. Thanks for helping us to translate their world into our world. So speaking, it's like languages, speaking academic and speaking OHSP, Office of Highway Safety Planning, is so important to our work. It makes our work better on our flagship project that makes me proud of the work that we do. And of course, thanks also for being such a great person to work with. I really, really appreciate it. It means something to me every day.
Our next award, the Research Staff Leadership Recognition Award, goes to Grace Wu from the Taubman Medical Research Institute in the medical school.
I've been working with Grace for about 15 years now. The first person that I recruited to come to the Taubman Institute after I became the director was Grace. And only because I have great respect for her, and she gets things done. And she has a knack for making sure that things get done correctly, they get things done accurately. She does it with joy in her voice. And that's probably the biggest thing about Grace. Everybody really likes working with Grace. Grace makes it easy because she's prepared. She thinks about the problem before she tackles it, and she consults with the right people. Grace is actually very involved with other organizations around the campus. She does this on her own time. She's part of the Women of Color Task Force and other diversity initiatives being carried out by the university. And she spreads the word to all the people that she works with. She supervises a staff of about 8 people now, and all of those individuals have become very involved with a lot of the activities that Grace brings to us. She's just a wonderful human being. I very seriously, I don't know of anybody who doesn't like Grace, and it's because she has grace. She can talk to anybody as well. I remember a trip to an important person's house, and there was a number of people there, and I was very nervous, and Grace just took over and introduced herself, introduced me, and made everybody in the whole room feel very comfortable. And that's the kind of person Grace is. She's inquisitive, and she really truly cares about people, and that's why she can talk to them so well, because she asks great questions and asks insightful questions just by getting to know a person for just a little while. Besides that, she makes great chocolate chip cookies. Grace, you're the best. Really. I've had, since the day I met you, when I first interviewed you a long time ago for a different job, I knew that you had a certain special something, and you proved my intuition correct. And I really appreciate all the things that you've done for me, for the Taubman Institute and the other centers that we ran. You've made each one of them better, and I'm glad you stuck with me.
The next award, the Research Staff Safeguard Recognition Award, goes to Sheryl Flanagan from the Data Office for Clinical and Translational Research in the medical school.
Sheryl started with us 3 years ago with this specific direction of carrying out a brand new policy that Michigan Medicine had related to sharing human tissue and patient data with industry. And while that policy was probably initially seen as a roadblock or an additional hurdle for researchers, under Sheryl's leadership, it has become the most efficient and consistent process that not only strengthens our institution's protection of our research patients, but also strengthens our relationships with industry. So industry, when they work with us, they know exactly what's expected. They're going to get the same requirements from all our researchers, and it makes our relationship even stronger. So the reason Sheryl, I think, is so fantastic at what she does is because she herself was a researcher for years at the bench. And so she empathizes with researchers, the pressures that they're under, with their passion, with their desire to get their findings out to help people. And because she herself has also experienced family members with incurable illness, she's also understands the industry mission to create therapies and cures to some of our most challenging diseases. She brings consistency and humor and the highest of ethics. She's exceeded my expectation for the role, and I think not only does she make my life easier and researchers' lives easier, I think about myself and my parents and my kids and how much safer our data will be and how much safer our research team's data will be because of what she does and her commitment to excellence. I reached out to some of her colleagues and leaders to ask for a letter of support, and within an hour they got me the most glowing, wonderful, warm letter about how phenomenal she is and what she does for the institution and for our researchers. So I think they were just waiting for their chance to say that Sheryl is great. So we're so proud that she won this award.